The ending of book one, that cliffhanger, slayed me. Welcome back, book besties. Today we're going to review the Scholomance Trilogy by Naomi Novik. The Scholomance Trilogy is a book trilogy that I recently finished in February and had been reading in December, January, and February this year. I borrowed it from my library, which is great. And it starts with A Deadly Education and ends with The Golden Enclaves. It is a great series, and I'm really excited to jump into it with you. Here's the book description for you. I decided that Orion Lake needed to die after the second time he saved my life. Everyone loves Orion Lake. Everyone else, that is. Far as I'm concerned, he can keep his flashy combat magic to himself. I'm not joining his pack of adoring fans. I don't need help surviving the Scholomance, even if they do. Forget the hordes of monsters and cursed artifacts. I'm probably the most dangerous thing in the place. Just give me a chance and I'll level mountains and kill untold millions, make myself the Dark Queen of the world. At least, that's what the world expects. Most of the other students in here would be delighted if Orion killed me, like one more evil thing that's crawled out of the drains. Sometimes I think they want me to turn into the evil witch they assume I am. The school certainly does. But the Scholomance isn't getting what it wants from me, and neither is Orion Lake. I may not be anyone's idea of the shining hero, but I'm going to make it out of this place alive, and I'm not going to slaughter thousands to do it either. Although I'm giving serious consideration to just one. So let's talk about the audience for this book. I would recommend this book to anybody who loves a dark academia. I certainly do, and I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. It was very dark, obviously. You're getting talk of monsters coming out of the drain pipes in this school for magical children, and they're having to fight for their lives to make it out. But also, at the same time, they have a better chance in the school than out of the school. I originally saw this book talked about a lot on the r/progression fantasy subreddit, and I was really interested in what a progression fantasy is, and although this one is kind of a little bit on the lighter side of progression fantasy, I would say, it definitely qualifies, and I really enjoyed the dynamic of doing difficult things in order to gain mana. And finally, if you love an intelligent and sharp-tongued main character, Elle is going to be so it for you. I absolutely adore her. She always had like some sort of one-liner or snippy comment in her back pocket, and as someone who has absolutely no ability to do that herself, like, I admire that in her. Alright, so what did I think about the setting? Well, the Scholomance is super cool. It's like this school that the magical, like, parents of the past kind of, like, yeeted into the void. So it exists, but, like, not in our usual reality, but also, like, not space either. So it's literally, like, kind of precariously existing in the middle of, like, this void of non-existence, and the only thing that keeps it together is our belief that it exists. So, like, that's so cool. Like, I don't even know how to describe that. Like, that's just a really cool dynamic, and it's just so creative. I love that. Next, we have our characters. I'm just gonna talk about our main characters. I'm not gonna get into, like, all of everybody. But we have Elle. who is the main narrator, and she is just so fun, and her lack of trust in other people is just like so cool, like because you kind of see her barriers break down throughout, and she starts to trust people and like really believe that like she can get out of here and be safe and have a life after the Scholomance. And kind of in the beginning, she really doesn't believe any of that, even though she says like she's gonna make it out of here. You can tell that she doesn't truly believe in herself until she starts having these relationships with people, and then it becomes a reality that, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, I'm gonna be safe, I'm gonna have a life after this. And next we have Orion Lake, who you see in the book description, and he is like constantly saving Elle's life, and like they have this count where he's like, oh, that's number 3, that's number 4, and she's like, didn't need your help, buddy. And so it's just kind of like super funny that like she keeps pushing him away, and because she keeps pushing him away, he likes her more, because all of the people where he's from like just kind of idolize him, and so he doesn't have any normal relationships except for with Elle, and it's not even a normal relationship to begin with. I would say that the theme, like kind of the overarching theme of this series is like fate, control, and acceptance. Like she denies the fate that she was prophesized to kind of become. Like she was prophesized from a young child to be like this dark witch, and like she absolutely does not want to become this, even though she comments on it quite often, because the school is kind of a little bit alive, and because it knows of her capability, it keeps giving her these like wildly powerful, ridiculous, overbearing like spells that could never be realistically used. And she just wants like a cleaning spell, but she can't get it. And at a certain point, she kind of realizes that she can, instead of like giving into this fate, she can take her own autonomy and make the active choice to not become this. And at the same time, like she can also accept this part of herself and, you know, still be able to actively use these overpowerful spells to better the world. We're getting in a little bit into spoiler territory, and I'm gonna kind of glance over this so that it doesn't get too deep into spoilers without being marked by spoilers. But there's this particular monster that everybody is like in fear of because it like can't be killed, but in reality, her powerfulness can do what's necessary to get rid of it, but it takes a lot to do so. I think that's the best way I can say that without getting too deep into spoiler territory. But we are going to start talking about that here in just a second. All right. If you do not want to hear deep, like detailed spoilers of this series, I need you to go now, because we're going to dive into it. Also, if you go into my description, you can grab a copy of the book. Why is the copy always gone? Okay, so now that the non-spoiler folk are gone, let's just dive right into it. The ending of book 1, that cliffhanger slayed me. Like, what? Are you kidding me? I was borrowing these books from the library and had to wait multiple weeks to get the next copy. That is very rude. So yeah, the ending of that book with the new like freshman coming in and the kid giving her a letter and it saying, you know, don't mess with Orion Lake. She had finally decided that she was just gonna give in to her feelings to him, and like mom's like, don't do that. What? Oop. Whoops. Yeah, so that was just kind of like a bombshell. Also, like, I really love that, with her magic being like so overly powerful that at some point in, I think it's book 2, some of the other students start noticing it because like she uses a really like overpowerful spell to get rid of a maleficaria that like goes up her nose, and she like needs to use this spell to like get it out of her, which is apparently something that's like really super difficult to do, and somebody watches her do it. Like that was super cool. So like people start noticing that, and then she is gifted the Golden Enclave like book, because she had the ability to get rid of a Mormouth, and like the school didn't want her to do it, which was like crazy. Like that's, I can't even believe that's a thing. Like the school being like, no, we don't want you to help these kids. Especially because like on the above the doors to exit the school, it says to protect all of the young bright children of the world or whatever. Like, hello school, duh. That's crazy to me. Like, what? This is one of my more wandery spoiler sessions. Sorry. Not sorry. Let's see, what else? The end of book 2, where they finally like got all of the kids out of the school and she and Orion can get out of there, and he just like pushes her out, and she's just left there going, what? And oh my gosh, that was just wild. Just completely like anger inducing, because I didn't have book 3 yet, so I had to again wait to get book 3 from the library, and oh, my patience. I don't have it in moments like that. And we get into book 3, and we are going through all of this like craziness of like these enclaves like falling apart, and Elle is using the Golden Enclave like book to try and put them back together, but she's also like taking out all of these Mormouths, and finds out during all of this that the Enclave spells that like the more modern ones use like a person as the building block to build up the Enclave, and it creates a Mormouth. It was just like mind-blowing. Like all of these pieces were there, and it never clicked until she realized it in the book, and I was like, that is just some amazing, because like it made so much sense as she was saying it, but I never put the pieces together until, you know, it kind of like happened. So I really loved that. I enjoyed it. I think that this series is just so smart and well thought out, and I really like, I know it's a trilogy, but I would I would read another one in a heartbeat if it became a not trilogy. Okay, let's go ahead and move on since I've kind of like rambled my way through the spoiler section. Let's talk about what I would rate this book. Or, well, books, since it's the whole trilogy we're going through right now. I kind of went back and forth on all of the books. I gave the first book 5 stars, and I think I gave the second book 4 and 4.5 for the third one. I don't know, I would have to check my story graph. But anyway, I am giving the series overall 4 stars. There were a couple of moments that were a little bit slow, or things that I didn't think were really like necessary. Like in book 2, we have this kind of like bait and switch section where we're doing one thing for a while in story, and then it like completely takes a turn after like some more stuff comes up, and it was just like really kind of like frustrating that like we had put so much time and energy into some stuff that just became completely irrelevant a little while later. So it was just kind of like annoying. But like overall, this was such a solid series. Like I couldn't even imagine like it being better. But also, like, now that I know all of the twists and turns of the series, I probably wouldn't reread it. And usually if I give a book 5 stars, it's because I'm gonna reread it sometime. Alright, do I recommend this series? I think it's kind of obvious, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Yes, obviously, I would absolutely recommend this series. I hope that people who see this watch and get a chance to enjoy it as well. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was so fun, and I would look forward to reading more books by the same author in the future. I don't know what else she's written actually, so I might have to go check that out. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I've recently found out that about half of you who watch these videos are actually subscribed, so if you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when I do more book review videos and more. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.